use your motivation to get consistent. What's up, guys? So it's definitely been a minute, and let me explain everything and why I haven't been active. So I took a few weeks off, like the last bit of like the school year, to focus on like my finals and my grades and stuff like that. And then when summer came, my gym schedule changed. So it's been really like it's been kind of difficult to like time when to make these videos. So I'm still working on that, but yeah, that's basically where I've been and what's been happening. Anyway, this whole situation gave me this video idea. So this video, it's going to be the importance of showing up and why consistency is better than motivation. Before we get into it, we need to understand what both motivation and consistency are. I'm pretty sure you guys already know this, but motivation, it's basically a feeling that you get that drives you to do something. In pretty much every single story with a main character and a villain or any story, there's always something that motivates like the main character to go on this epic like adventure, and it basically starts the whole plot of the movie. One example of a motivating cause would be from my favorite movie of all time, Kung Fu Panda. So the main character, Po, he has this fascination with the Furious Five, and he wants to join them and be a defender of the Valley of Peace, and he gets chosen to be the next Dragon Warrior. But at the same time, the main villain, Tai Lung, he breaks out of prison, and there's this motivation that Po gets to train and become stronger and end up fighting this guy. A more realistic example of this would be you want to be the best member on your sports team, so you get that feeling inside of you that drives you to go train and work out or do whatever to become the best on your team. Now, consistency is actually putting it into action. Consistency is you going and training hard every day. Consistency is Po training every day to beat Tai Lung. It's the action that you put into it. Now, motivation, it's a very strong feeling. It's a very raw and primal feeling when you have motivation to do something, like you have this fire inside of you and you're going to go do it right now. But consistency, it's a lot more complex than that. Consistency is you not caring about any outside factors, like how you feel or what happened that day. You're not going to let that stop you from doing that thing. With motivation, you can stay motivated for a long time, and you can keep going really hard at that one thing. But what happens to the days that you're not motivated? You're not going to do anything. And so in the long run, you're going to get more value out of using consistency than motivation. So if you didn't quite understand what I was saying, let me give an example and hopefully you can understand a bit more. Let's say you're camping with some friends. You just set up everything, you set up all your tents and stuff, but it's about to become night and you're about to go to bed. And your friend says, let's build a fire. Okay, that's a good idea. And so this friend has the idea to get a bunch of wood and pile it all into one big pile and make it like a big bonfire, so you guys don't have to check on it. And so you're like, okay, that's an idea. And so you guys get all the wood and you guys light the fire. It's like a big bonfire. And so you go to bed, and in the middle of the night, you wake up and it's out. So you end up going back to bed cold. The next night, you're like, well, obviously that didn't work, so let's try a different way. So your other friend, he comes up with the idea to have everyone do shifts. You make a small fire, and someone stays awake, and then after a certain period of time, they call the next person. And the cycle repeats until it's day. And so you do that, and you end up keeping the fire going until the morning. So even though you made a big bonfire the first night, you didn't do anything with it, so it went out. The next night, you kept it going by constantly feeding it. So if you're motivated, use it to go do something. Don't just let it sit there and be a feeling. Use your motivation to get consistent. Another factor to think about is that if you're relying solely on motivation, you're going to get burnt out faster. Because, like with the fire, you pour on all the wood and it gets really big, but it ends up dying out really fast because it ends up eating all the wood. If you're relying solely on motivation, you're going to start really strong, and then you're gonna crash, and you're gonna slow down faster than if you do a little bit every day and are feeding the fire just a little bit. Now let's do some calculations, shall we? I have my trusty calculator right here. Let's say you get better 1% every day you work. Let's say you rely on motivation and you're only motivated every other day. So there's 365 days in the year. Divided by 2. That is 182 and a half days. Obviously, that's a lot less than if you were to use consistency, and you're going to get 365% better. So it's all about showing up and not caring about what happens, and just work a little bit every day to get better. Now, I'm kind of lying when I say that consistency is better than motivation. I mean, sure, it's going to get you further in the long run, but they both need each other in order to exist. Like, you need to be motivated in order to get consistent. If you just try and get consistent without having a motivation for it, you're not gonna go anywhere with it. And it's the same thing if you're motivated but you don't get consistent, you're again not gonna go anywhere. So they both need each other to exist. And of course, like everything you learn in life, getting consistent with something is going to take a good amount of time before it gets engraved into your brain. So to start, just do a little bit every day, and after a period of time, slowly build it up, and then you should have not just consistency, but a habit. It should be part of your everyday life, just like waking up, brushing your teeth, and going to the bathroom, whatever. And with that habit, you can apply it to other things, and you can get better at whatever you want, because you've learned how to take it one step at a time and build it up and go day by day to get better. So don't let that fire of motivation burn out. Use it to progress and get consistent with whatever you need and whatever you want to achieve. If you can do that and apply that to the things that you want to get in life, if you keep working a little bit every day, keep moving forward, not caring about what happened that day, you will eventually achieve whatever you want. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully stay tuned for the next one. Bye.